Hey everybody, it's your girl Beauty in My Veins coming at you, aka Nikki Renee. As you see, I'm sporting the lovely 2012 AIDS Walk shirt because I just got done from walking with my school and an organization I'm a part of just to bring awareness to HIV/AIDS and help people understand that the epidemic can be solved. There are ways to prevent and preventions, and there's also outlets that you can look to just in case you might have the disease. But this is not even just about HIV/AIDS awareness. It's also about STI, STD awareness. It's more than just HIV and AIDS that you can contract out here, and I need people to know this. Like, I need you all to understand that there are more things than just HIV and AIDS. There are lists upon lists of STDs that you can catch from the exchange of bodily fluids that we enjoy so much. There are other things that can happen, and I just want to bring awareness to that. Gonorrhea is real, syphilis is real, herpes is very real. Okay, and people who have this, when people have these diseases, especially in the African American community and society, we don't feel like we should tell anybody. I don't, we don't feel like that disclosure is something that should happen before we add another notch on our belt. We just don't. We don't think that we should sit down and have that conversation because it's so taboo. And I feel like after 20, 30 years of watching our brothers and sisters die or being born and dying from these diseases, it might just be time for us to stand up and say something. I'm just saying, and a lot of our brothers and sisters they didn't get it from the typical, which is possibly having multiple sex partners or sharing needles. Some were just born with the disease. So it's something that we need to not be so afraid to talk about. It affects us. As I watched the video, and the video was talking about how people thought for a long time it only affected homosexual white men. That's what people believe. And now we see that the government and the world is telling us, black women have the leading rates of HIV and AIDS cases in America. I think it's actually worldwide. Black women, African American women. So how you go from a homosexual white man to a heterosexual African American woman, hey, between the ages of 16 and 24 is beyond me. That's something that we really have to take into consideration and understand that it is affecting us just as much as it affected them. This is our fight. This is something we have to walk with. And it's not just a black thing, it's a world thing. We have to pull together and fight against this. I would like to see the church move more towards and progress more to understand it and help their community deal with it. Because there are people who sit in church with us. There's people sitting right next to us who have certain diseases, who have HIV/AIDS. Even certain types of cancers that you can get from having HIV and AIDS, and they're being quiet about it. And they're holding back to themselves because we think it's also taboo. The African American culture still looks at AIDS as being some dirty disease that we should not ever get, and if you get it, it's because either you were on the down low or you're doing, and that's not necessarily true. There are many people who are born into this world every single day who carry strands of the disease that grow into AIDS. They carry a strand of HIV, and because you go so long without getting medications for it and knowing you have it, it turns into AIDS. Yeah, it grows, it changes, just like cancers. It's a disease that has to be recognized and stomped out of the community. And the only way that you can do so is by slowly but surely educating people. Whoever has it now, if they have it, they're living with it. But we can prevent it from happening to someone else. We can make it so that people are so unafraid of AIDS, of AIDS, that they're not scared to ask those questions before they lay on their backs. We need to start with our younger generation. If we get it so that the younger generation is so aware of it that it's less and less of them catching it, eventually, as time goes on and progresses, the disease will outweigh itself, will outweigh its own time span. But we haven't seen that. It's only been 20 or 30 years. It hasn't been very long. And we still have this mindset that only homosexuals get AIDS. That's so wrong. Like I said, heterosexual African American women who look like me, black women, have the leading rate of HIV and AIDS cases in America. So some of those systems, it's pretty much the system is telling me out of 10 black women sitting in the room, random African American women from all over the world, 10 black women all over America sit in a room together, it's more than likely that 70% of them have some sort of strand of HIV or AIDS. If not, have an STD. That's sad. That's horrible. Educate yourselves, women. I understand also that the stigma in the African American culture is you cannot trust the government. We do believe that AIDS was brought into society by the government because of certain things such as the Tuskegee experiment. If you don't know about it, educate yourself on it. Tuskegee experiment. Just look it up. It'll surprise you. Educate yourself. We do believe that. I know that's one of the reasons my father, he's 60. He does not. My dad doesn't go to the doctor. He just don't believe in it. My uncles didn't go to the doctor. My grandfather didn't go. These men allow whatever it is to take them out. They say, let it take me out. They say, let it take me out. I've heard this from men in my life who are over the age of 35. If it's my time to go, it's my time to go. But I ain't going to trust no doctor to help me get there. Well, it's not about the doctors. It's about your life. And like one of my friends said earlier, for my ladies, understand that when you make the decision to lay down with a man, you're putting your life at risk. So that's really all I got to say. I'm not going to keep this video over 7 minutes because I know I'll be having y'all here forever. But that's really it. AIDS, y'all, is real. It's real. And it's a killer. And it's killing us because we choose to keep ourselves uneducated. So, yeah. AIDS does not mean you have to die. It's not a death sentence. I'm going to say attention is definitely needed when it comes to AIDS. Attention is definitely needed. So, all right, you all have a blessed day. Beauty in my veins signing out. And look for Trayvon Martin 2.0 coming to you real soon. Toodles and doodles.